In this morning's Health Watch, Kristin's rebirthday. Last May 4th, a young woman from Brooklyn was on the brink of death. Her organs were failing and she was unable to eat. But one phone call gave her a new chance at life.
What are you making for dinner? We made chicken cutlets.
22-year-old Kristin Molini loves to cook. A passion born from pain. 5 years ago, Kristin was diagnosed with a rare medical condition, intestinal dysmotility, a disease which paralyzed her digestive organs and left her jaundiced and extremely frail.
There was no eating at that point. You know, it was just IV nutrition and painkillers, and that was my life.
To survive, Kristin would need a new liver, pancreas, stomach, and both small and large intestines. She registered on transplant lists at 2 hospitals, but nearly 3 years later, without a donor, her prognosis was not good.
I was 74 pounds, and you know, I was moving from my bed to the couch. I was bleeding in my stomach, and I was in so much pain. And I was almost ready, knowing that I was going to go. And then a miracle happened.
1 year ago today, she received a call from New York Presbyterian Hospital at Columbia. They had finally found a donor match for all 5 organs.
I jumped up. My husband's like, "What are you screaming for?" I'm like, "They have the organs. They have the organs."
The Molinis rushed to the hospital, and within hours, Kristin was in surgery.
The hardest thing for me was probably when I was rolling away from them. It's a fear that that was the last time I was ever going to see my family again.
It hits you very hard. It's very sad. You know, someone's life, your own life is on the line.
13 hours later, the lead doctor emerged from surgery with news for the family.
When he came out to us after surgery to tell us, you know, everything went well and she's doing well, it was a really good feeling, you know.
And joining us exclusively are Kristin Molini and her parents, Chinzia and Gregory. Good morning to you all.
Good
Good morning.
Take me back to a year ago, to when that phone rang and they said, "We have the organs you need." 3 years you waited on that list. The pictures we saw from the jaundice, your face was yellow.
Yeah, yellow all over. I mean, I wasn't moving. I was going from my bed to the couch, and there was not much life, you know. I was in pain constantly, and I was on IV nutrition, and you know, I was basically surviving off of that, you know, IV bag, and my liver was just going, and it was just a matter of time.
I'm looking at you now. I'm looking at the sparkle in your eyes and the smile in your face and the energy that you have. Mom and Dad, is this a miracle?
Oh yes, it's definitely a miracle. A true miracle.
Talk about this disease you had and how just debilitating. As many years as I've been on this program, I've never even heard of it before. What does it do to you?
Chronic skin obstruction is just a point in your bowel that just stops functioning. It's basically a false obstruction, and it led me to mechanical obstructions, which led me to the emergency room, to the operating room more than 10 times. It's basically a crippling, debilitating disease. You're absolutely right. It's, you know, it takes over your entire body. Once your GI tract goes, your nutrition fails.
Everything else.
Everything else goes. Yeah. So it's really hard.
What did the doctors tell you in terms of what odds you're talking about here, needing 5 different organs?
Well, it is a rare disease, and there was only 300 performed.
These kinds of operations?
Exactly, yeah, multivisceral.
Yeah.
And there are odds, but it was a lot of prayers, and here we are today.
Yeah. How proud are you of your daughter?
Oh, extremely proud. You know, just to see the difference from a year ago to now, to see her actually going up the stairs by herself, doing things on her own, is tremendous. You know.
Talking about going back to school.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
That's a big one in the fall. I can't wait to go back.
Wow. Now, what was this big party that happened recently? What was that about? Was that the birthday?
It was a rebirthday, yeah. Every transplant patient has 2 birthdays. So on April 30th, we did it. It was a really big celebration. It was a nice blowout. I mean, just the support. It was a great turnout. And
you tricked your parents?
I did. I actually, before the party, I actually had my immediate family come to the house, and I had them renew their vows, and they had no idea for months.
That was a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you asked your wife for her hand in marriage, what did she say?
She said yes.
Oh, thank goodness. That's a happy ending. Was there a point in your life when you wondered if you would ever dance with your daughter again?
Well, before the transplant, just prior, we're talking the day before on that Sunday. Monday, we did receive the phone call at 7:30 in the morning. But that Sunday, we all, at least myself I should speak for, but I thought we were losing her. And literally we had to just, I walked up and you know, out of the room and teared and thought about that. And
This so illustrates the importance of transplants and people just signing when they renew their driver's license. This is a little child you have the organs of a little child who died in some traumatic injury in Mississippi.
Yeah.
If you could talk to that child's parents, what would you tell them?
I would love them to know that I live for two people. I live for me and him every day.
Yeah.
And you know, they gave me a second chance.
Yeah. Mr. Molini, folks who don't sign that on the driver's license, tell them why they need to do that. Why they need to become organ donors.
well, actually in the state of New York, there is 19 million people, only 11% is actually signed up, which falls, out of the states, it falls second to last.
Wow.
We need to really get a hold. It is an emergency. And we've been to hospitals all over the country, and you know, we watched children pass.
Yeah.
And there's no reason for this.
And
So we really need help.
And Kristin is living proof.
That's right.
Thank you all very much for sharing your story with us this morning. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks a
you.
bunch.
Thank
Great
you
to
for
see you.
having
Thank you.
us.
A lot happens early on The Early Show, weekday mornings on CBS.